Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the global Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Home Affairs finds evidence that Miss SA hopeful Chidimma Adetshina's mother committed identity fraud. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. It has been a whirlwind for both the South African citizen and Chidimma Vanessa Adetshina. This Chidimma and Miss SA pageant saga is the first time South Africans unite and fight to put the citizens of this country first, and lawfully so. To be honest, I never thought South Africans had it in them. I never thought that we took anything seriously. I mean, when it's time to be patriotic and fight for equal rights and opportunities for Black people, they are nowhere to be found. When it's time to protest against service delivery or racism, they are nowhere to be found. When it's time to unite and build up the citizens of this country in general, they are nowhere to be found. But let's tear each other down as Black people, and bingo, here we are. Regardless, I got to hand it to you guys. I think this is the start of getting rid of illegal immigrants, freeing up space for South Africans to take back opportunities that were meant for them, to stop the government from overspending on these illegal immigrants and try to nurse our economy back to health. Newly appointed Minister of Home Affairs Leon Schreiber announced that it has uncovered prima facie evidence that Miss SA contestant Chidimma Adetshina's mother committed identity theft. This comes after several South Africans questioned Adetshina's identity given her Nigerian surname. It was revealed that Adetshina's father was ostensibly Nigerian, while the 23-year-old's mother was believed to be from Mozambique. In a lengthy statement, Schreiber said an innocent South African mother had her identity stolen as part of the alleged fraud committed by Adetshina's mother. He said the department has broadened its investigation to identify and pursue any officials involved in the alleged fraudulent scheme. The department is obtaining legal advice on the implication of the alleged fraudulent activity on Adetshina's citizenship status. Upon the completion of the investigation, Home Affairs intends to press criminal charges, he said. He said this stems from alleged fraudulent activities committed 23 years ago, which highlights the urgent need for the digital modernization of Home Affairs applications. The case also highlights the reason for the department's blocking of certain duplicate IDs, and that the court-ordered unblocking of these documents must be handled with caution.
The only way I can describe it is a little bit of a mess, this Chidimma Adetshina story, a Miss South Africa contestant. There has been this public inquiry into the status of Chidimma. Only 23 years old, and she's a contestant in Miss South Africa. But the Miss South Africa company says, well, please, Home Affairs, for clarity, will you investigate? The Home Affairs Department says, well, we received the consent of Chidimma as well as her mother to look into this case. Last night, the Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber getting back saying that there is prima facie evidence that exists that fraud and identity theft may have been committed by the person recorded in Home Affairs records as Chidimma Adetshina's mother. Remember, her father is Nigerian, her mother South African of Mozambican descent. That South African identity now has a question mark over it. But I think what is important, and I wished the Department of Home Affairs stresses this enough, that Chidimma could not have participated in the alleged unlawful actions of her mother as she was an infant at the time when the activities took place in 2001.
Now, I know several people might say Chidimma is innocent in all of this. She was an infant by the time this fraud was committed. It is her mother that must bear the brunt. And you know what? I strongly agree and disagree at the same time. And here's why. The minute South Africans started to question her identity and her citizenship status, that should have raised concerns to her, seeing that both her parents are immigrants. She should have asked if their citizenship is legitimate. She should have consulted with Home Affairs, and also the Miss SA organizers should have done thorough background check, not only for Chidimma, but for the integrity of their brand. I think Chidimma's mother didn't immediately advise her daughter to withdraw from the Miss SA pageant because she underestimated the law and the power of the Department of Home Affairs in general. She thought all of this commotion on X will just die down and the people will forget. Just like all the national issues raised on X, they disappear without being resolved and we move on with our lives. So she thought it was going to be like that for them as well. She thought it was going to be the same. But she was wrong. She was wrong. I think what rubbed South Africans the wrong way was the way Chidimma celebrated her success into making it to the Miss SA pageant after finding out she met the requirement amid calls for her to withdraw. Her celebration was more of a middle finger to the outcries of the South African citizens. It was more of a in-your-face type of vibe. It was more of, you are not going to do anything about it. This Nigerian woman will represent South Africa whether we like it or not. They were spitting and laughing in our faces, and that angered the South Africans even more. South African Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Gayton McKenzie outlined his department's next step after Home Affairs disclosed information regarding Chidimma Adetshina's citizenship. Gayton took to his X account and said that the next step was to find the South African mother who may have suffered because her child's identity was stolen. The minister's statement comes after the Department of Home Affairs found Prima facie indication of fraud committed by Chidimma's mother, meaning an innocent South African mother whose identity may have been stolen as part of this alleged fraud has been suffering all these years. If I have to put it this way, has been suffering. Gayton McKenzie thanked the South African patriots that stood by him when he was called xenophobic and another atrocious name by celebrities and EFF members when he made a statement saying we cannot have Nigerians competing in our Miss SA competition. At the end of the day, you know, we cannot ignore the law. At the end of the day, we can't ignore what this mother has done, and I'm sure there was someone's identity that was stolen to make way for Chidimma to be an official citizen of South Africa. That mother has been suffering. Maybe her child wasn't registered, couldn't register at school because of this identity fraud, could not get government services because of this identity fraud. So at the end of the day, we also have to look at the consequences of Chidimma's mother's actions. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here